Good morning. It's about 10 minutes after 9 and we're about to get underway from Matinicus harbor here. It is another beautiful day. There are some wispy clouds in the sky, so it's not perfect. There is a slight breeze out of the south at the moment, which is what the forecast is for the day basically. And we're gonna head back over to the Muscle Ridge Channel area. The most direct route from here back to Rockland would take me over to Vinyl Haven, and that would be a short day, and then up to our usual Clam Cove for the last night, which would be another short day. So we're kind of just taking the long way home by heading over to the Muscle Ridge instead. Hopefully we've got an appropriate amount of wind to get there. Oh, I do remember that I forgot to show you our sailing route yesterday. So hopefully at the end of today, when I show you the chart, I'll remember to do both. All right. This is going to be a little unusual. I usually start the day by pulling up the anchor. This time I have to throw off the mooring line. Shouldn't be hard. That green buoy was a waypoint on our route over to the Muscle Ridge. So we had been sailing north, kind of downwind. Well, not kind of downwind. It was downwind, pretty close, along the east coast of Matinicus Island, and some rocks and nastiness north of it. And now we've turned west and are headed towards the coast of Maine. We're now on a beam reach and doing about 3.5 knots. The wind has freshened a little bit, as the forecast said. So hopefully we'll get there before the wind quits, which again it's supposed to do sometime this afternoon. Current ETA, for what it's worth, is about 2 o'clock. Which would be nice. It's a few minutes after 11 now, and we are still zooming across. Well, I'm not sure if this is West Penobscot Bay or not. But the wind kind of died earlier than the forecast suggested it would, and I decided to put out the Doyle UPS to try to catch a little more wind. And after I did that, the wind came back, and maybe it's a little stronger than it was before. So if it had been blowing this strong when I made the decision, I would have left the standard 130 jib up, but well, the UPS is up and I'm a little afraid to try to take it down, frankly. So we're doing better than 4 knots now, and okay, we're gonna miss that lobster pot, pretty sure. And now our ETA is a little earlier than it was. Well, we lost some time when the wind slacked off. So anyway, we'll see what happens, as always. That buoy was another waypoint on our route. We've crossed, for the most part, over to the coast of Maine, the Muscle Ridge area, although we're not in Muscle Ridge Channel at the moment. That buoy actually, I don't know if you saw, it's 5-2B, and 2B stands for Two Bush, because it's marks part of Two Bush Channel, which is a main shipping channel that goes up Penobscot Bay up towards Searsport. Anyway, as I said, we're not quite to Muscle Ridge Channel yet. We got a little ways to go, but we're getting closer. The time is about 1, and our ETA is once again around 2, so we're getting close. So we dropped anchor at about 2:20, a little later than the 2 o'clock ETA, not because the ETA was wrong. We did get here about 2, but I haven't anchored here before, and the habit I've developed recently is when I anchor someplace new, I do a little survey. So I cruise slowly across along the near shore to where I'm going to anchor, and watch the depth reading, and chart out a line where the depth at low tide would be about 5 feet, and then generally I anchor no closer, or not much closer, than about 200 feet from that line, and I generally put out about 100 feet of anchor line, so that gives me about 100 feet of cushion if to drag towards shore, which I've never needed, so since I've started this routine anyway. So that's where the extra 20 minutes went anyway. Without further ado, then I guess I will show you around the harbor. So we'll start out looking south at the near shore, which is Whitehead Island. Panning a little to my left to the southeast, there's the end of the island. Right around the corner there is a lighthouse that I got a picture of coming in here. So Whitehead Island is undeveloped. It's a park or something like that, not sure, but there are no houses on it other than the lighthouse, and there's one other building over there, although there is a dock right in front of me here, but I don't know who uses that, but I don't see any houses anyway. There is no bridge or anything, but of course that's true with a lot of islands. many to count. But they're fortunately a long way away. So this is a pretty large bay here. The name of this body of water, by the way, is Seal Harbor, not to be confused with Seal Bay or Seal Cove. So, and then I'm not sure where the demarcation line would be exactly, but to our north is Spruce Head Island, which does have a bridge leading to it and also has lots of houses and apparently, from the large number of boats I see over there, a marina. And looking to the northeast, that would be the Muscle Ridge Channel up that way. Can't quite pick out islands we've specifically been to, but they're over there. And that continues on with the Muscle Ridge Islands and Channel to our east. And then back to the southeast, and to the left of the end of the island is the Atlantic Ocean out there, which is the way we came in general. So, and since I have the camera out, I might as well show you the chart, starting with yesterday's route. So here in the eastern edge of Matinicus Bay, we spent the night in this cluster of islands here. This is Caldwell Island, and that's Teal Island here. These are little Caldwells. So we were right up in this area here, and the town of Port Clyde is right over here. So we left bright and early yesterday morning, a little before sunrise. Came out and down south, and then a little bit east of south and around some rocks, and then southeast across this vast body of water and south of Matinicus Island, which does have some structures on it. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I don't think they're vacation cottages. There's some, I think my online chart map, Aquamap, indicated this was some kind of nature preserve or some such. Anyway, we need to go to the next page. So, and since I have the camera out, I might as well show you the chart, starting with yesterday's route. So here in the eastern edge of Matinicus Bay, we spent the night in this cluster of islands here. This is Caldwell Island, and that's Teal Island here. These are little Caldwells. So we were right up in this area here, and the town of Port Clyde is right over here. So we left bright and early yesterday morning, a little before sunrise. Came out and down south, and then a little bit east of south and around some rocks, and then southeast across this vast body of water, and south of Matinicus Island, which does have some structures on it. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I don't think they're vacation cottages. There's some, I think my online chart map, aqua map, indicated this was some kind of nature preserve or some such. Anyway, we need to go to the next page. So we've had to switch to a much larger area, smaller scale map. So here is Matinicus Island, Matinicus Bay over here. And we continued east and eventually this from Matinicus across was 10 miles, as I recall, and we went through Matinicus Roads is what this was labeled, this space between Matinicus Island and Ragged Island, which has the nicely named harbor of Cryhaven. I like that name, I don't know why. Anyway, when we came up and around and into the harbor, which you really can't see at this scale in the chart, but apparently there isn't a larger scale chart. Anyway, today we left from Matinicus Harbor and came out and around this green buoy and then across this body of water, which may or may not be West Penobscot Bay, and past a buoy here which denotes Two Bush Channel, which is the green part. Hopefully that shows up. And oh, they're having trouble finding it. Came a little bit more northwestish, and here's Whitehead Island right here, and this space between it is Seal Harbor, and this is Spruce Head Harbor. This is all the coast of Maine. Down here is Tennant's Harbor, somewhat well known, and here are those Muscle Ridge Islands, and this is the Muscle Ridge Channel up through here up to Owl's Head. So the weather forecast for today had the winds developing late morning and having moderate winds out of the south for the middle part of the day, and then tapering off again in the afternoon sometime. Events, actually followed that up until the tapering off part. There was a tapering off for about 3 minutes when I put up the Doyle UPS, and then it came back and built a little, and I eventually thought that the Doyle UPS was too much, and I did take it down, and that wasn't too bad, actually. I was afraid it was going to get away from me and I'd end up with some kind of mess, but it didn't. So anyway, I went back to the regular jib and had that reefed a little bit, and that's kept up all afternoon. So, well, that's good. It was a good day of sailing. It was clouding up significantly. There's still a lot of cloud cover, but I think the trend maybe is reversed, and now there's more blue sky. well, that's it. I'm going to settle in, have my afternoon beer, and catch up on world events.